strong winds that
Well, now we are talking true showbiz legends, the much-loved Aussie quartet, the Seekers, who, did you know, were the first group ever to reach #1 on the UK charts with a debut record. It is a stunning feat not even the Rolling Stones or the Beatles can claim. Their fabulous blend of folk and pop still sparks sing-alongs all around the world. And I was lucky enough to sit down with two of the original band members to hear about their latest exciting project. Please take a look. They were the first Aussie group to hit the big time in Britain. That was in the mid-60s. Then, 50 years on, the Seekers went back to the UK to perform for their British fans one last time.
Now the harbour light is calling. This will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die.
It was in 2014 that Judith Durham, Athol Guy, Keith Potka and Bruce Woodley performed their final farewell to Britain at a sellout concert. Well, hugely exciting news. It's just been released on DVD and CD, and in even more exciting news, Keith and Athol join me now for a special walk down memory lane. Athol and Keith, this is an absolute joy to be Zooming with you.
Thank you, Craig. Likewise.
Craig.
And to see Keith. Good morning, Keith.
Hello, good morning, Athol.
There you are, how fabulous. Keith, when did you realise you genuinely hit the big time in the UK?
Well, I suppose it all dawned on us once we had recorded our first single, which was I'll Never Find Another You, and it had risen to the top of the UK charts and sold 1 million records, and it was our first single, 1 million records, and we were #1, and so we thought that that was a pretty good trifecta for us, actually.
Am I right in recalling that was written by Tom Springfield, who of course was Dusty's brother?
Yes, correct. And indeed, it was Tom's birthday on the 2nd of July, on Friday the 2nd, the release of our CD and DVD. It's Tom's birthday.
Well, there you go. You see the planets are lining up. Athol, the Seekers knocked the Beatles off the top of the charts with A World of Our Own, such a beautiful song. I think their song was Ticket to Ride that you beat. What did John Lennon have to say about the Seekers, and did you guys get to meet him?
No, well, what happened was World of Our Own, we sang just as it had been released. We sang it on Wembley Arena awards program. We were named the top best new group internationally because of I'll Never Find Another You. And we were just about to launch A World of Our Own. We sang it on the show, but during the morning of rehearsals, John Lennon wandered over, because he was on the show with the Beatles and the Stones and Dusty Springfield, everybody in the pop business just about, walked up to our manager with a very cheeky grin. We were inside, we didn't see him, and he said, "They're not a bad little band, you know, but they're all there to see us." Well, he was possibly right. But anyway, the bottom line was 3 weeks later, A World of Our Own knocked Ticket to Ride off the top of the charts. And then the next 18 months, the Seekers were actually the top point-scoring act in the charts in the UK. So that's, you know, I'll Never Find Another You, A World of Our Own, Carnival is Over, and on it went. So, you know, the catalyst, as Keith was saying, gosh, you know, when we hit #1 with I'll Never Find Another You, that seemed it. But there's so much more to come.
Oh, of course. How did you process that sudden, enormous fame?
Just kept working, I think, every day of the week.
We all went out and bought bicycles.
Keith, I know in 2014 there was that farewell concert, but that in fact wasn't the first time you'd said goodbye to your very loyal UK fans. You did so, as I recall it, back in 1968 when Judith Durham left the group and then essentially the Seekers disbanded. That concert was iconic. It aired on the BBC. Do you know how many people tuned in?
Well, yes, the population of England was about 40 million at that time, but I think we cracked about 11 or 12 million views on that particular special, and it was a very emotional period for all of us, as you can imagine. But it was a great way of saying farewell at that stage, and then of course it laid the groundwork for us to get together again and do many more concerts, starting off in 1993.
Well, that's right. So it was all those years on forward that it was before the band kind of got back together. What was it that inspired you to reunite, and did it require a bit of arm twisting on behalf of Judith?
Well, no, what happened was, I mean, we were like the Humpty Dumpty of the musical world. The moment we sort of broke up, everybody started to try and put us back together again, which was really very sweet. All around the planet. I know Keith would have copped all the phone calls, and he went on, of course, to form the New Seekers. But I used to get all the phone calls in Australia. Can't we get the group together again for this big Australia Day function? Or, you know, huge moments. We couldn't do it, but in the meantime, Keith and Bruce and I got together with three other lovely ladies in the interim and put the Seekers back out live on stage and recording-wise. And then in '92. Because we'd been all over the world in disparate parts of the planet, and then we finally managed to all get together again with Judith. They have a dinner one night in Melbourne, and our manager, or Judith's manager at the time, thought it might be an idea for us to have a reunion concert, which still goes on.
Well, as I mentioned, you've just released the DVD and CD of that 2014 farewell concert in the UK. We're showing our viewers now a YouTube clip of fans singing at the stage door afterwards. Did that happen a lot? I mean, is that the kind of reaction fans had to you guys?
We had the best fans in the world, Craig, and they're still loyal to us to this very day. And we used to just love that when we were leaving after our show, and they'd be still waiting at the stage door and waiting for us to come out and clamouring. It was just great. But they're our wonderful, loyal fans.
Yeah, so the interesting thing these days, we are downloaded musically around the planet at over 1 million times a month. Wow. And on YouTube, a lot of our videos, there's 3 of them together, I know. Recently, we looked at the stats, are over hundreds of millions of streams of our videos. So, you know, it's just a wonderful blessing. The legacy is still there, and on we go to our Diamond Jubilee next year. 60 years, I'm still here.
That is the magic of your music. Now, as we know, Judith has retired from public life. I just love her to pieces and had the joy of chatting with her a couple of years ago. How is she? And do you still see her from time to time?
Yes, she's great. In fact, we spoke with her on her birthday, which was last Saturday. And she's still bright and bubbly and just a lovely person. And it's a wonderful thing for the 4 of us, actually, Craig, that we do keep in touch with each other. And in spite of the umpteen decades that we've been together, we're still able to talk to each other and have fun together, which is the important part about it.
Yeah. And I take it from that Bruce Woodley, of course, is doing fabulously as well.
Oh, yeah, he is. I see Bruce reasonably often. Keith's a little bit further away, but whenever we can, we get together. And musically, we had a little bit of fun not so long ago when the 3 of us and our producer, Michael Cristiano, put an album together of what the 4 boys originally were like in the Seekers, because the Seekers started as 4 boys, as you probably know.
I certainly do. Now, there was, of course, the Georgie Girl stage musical. Quick last question. Any possibility of a biopic? I mean, what a rip-roaring story that would be.
Yeah, well, it's going to be on the cards. I think we've had a brief chat about a bio and a doco and a few other things. We've got so much material up our sleeve that still is yet to be aired.
No wonder your sleeves are bulging. It is beautiful to chat with you both, Athol Guy and Keith Potka. What a thrill and a joy.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay.
The Seekers, live in the UK, is just out on DVD and CD. Get it at classicsdirect.com. Keith and Athol, so great to talk to you. Bye.
Bye. Bye off.
Next time.
There's a new world somewhere they call the Promised Land, and I'll be there someday if you will hold my hand. I still need you there beside me, no matter what I do, for I know I'll never find another you, another you, another you.
Oh, thank you so much for that wonderful welcome back to London, sharing our 50th anniversary celebration. I can't tell you what a joy it is to be back here with you all, especially with this little miracle here.
We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows we leave are behind us there, and I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. The water is wide, I can cross over, nor do I have light wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, my love and I. Silver threads and golden needles cannot mend this heart of mine,
And I dare not drown my sorrow in the warm glow of your wine.
You can buy my love with money, for I never was that kind. Silver threads and golden needles cannot mend this heart of mine. Rockin', rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away.
Driver at the engine, fireman rings the bell, Sandman swings the lantern to show that all is well.
Rockin', rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away.
I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee.
No time, see Myra today. Oh, no time, see Myra today. No time, see Myra today. 'Cause the big white ship, she sail away.
Myra, Myra, many boats in the harbor gonna go down south to make $1,000,000 and shake out the party. Shake out the party. Oh, Myra, Myra, many boats in the harbor gonna go down south to make $1,000,000 and shake out the party. Shake out the party.
Listen, all of you people, come and take a few lessons from me. Get yourselves prepared for Judgment Day. Hallelujah, hallelujah. When you hear the trumpet blast, then you know you're home at last. Open up them pearly gates for me. Why don't you open up them pearly gates? Open up them pearly gates. Open up them pearly gates for me. Hallelujah, hallelujah. When you hear the trumpet blast, then you know you're home at last. Open up
trace left behind. I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. Oh, you know that was the last thing on my mind.
Just send me the power of your salvation. You're my spirit, you're my guiding light, you're my comfort through the darkest night. When I'm troubled, there's one thing I'm certain of. You're my spirit, you're the one I love. You're my spirit, you're the one I love. You're my spirit, you're the one I love. Keith Foster and Athol Guy.
I'm very pleased to see you with the tambourine.
Oh, the tambourine, my gosh. I'll tell you what, it was a near one with the tambourine. You know, I had the brain hemorrhage just about a year ago now, and they were wondering how I was going to be. So a couple of days afterwards, the doctor came in and said, look, you better sing a couple of bars of a song or something, just let's hear if you can sing. And I thought, okay, big deep breath, and yes, I could sing a couple of bars of Morningtown Ride. What nobody thought of till a couple of months later was, what about the tambourine? Could she still play that? So, thank goodness.
Well,
luckily, it was still there. So.
We gave her a very special audition and she got the gig, so it's all right.
So thank you for the joy you bring, and thank you for your love each night. You'll always be my guardian angel, always be my guiding light. Oh yeah, Cajun man, do what you can. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. I heard Mama and Papa call that little boy Ned, raise him on the banks of the riverbed. A houseboat tied to a big tall tree, a home for my mama and my papa and me. The clock strikes 3, Papa jumps to his feet. Already Mama's cooking Papa something to eat. At 1:30, Papa, he's ready to go. He jumps in his barrel, headed down the bayou. He's got a fishing line strung across the Louisiana River. Gotta catch a big fish for us to eat. He sets his traps in the swamps, catches anything he can. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. Oh yeah. This story's in the past, with nothing to recall. I've got my life to live, and I don't need you at all. The roller coaster ride we took is nearly at an end. I bought my ticket with my tears, that's all I'm going to spend. And I think it's gonna be alright. Yeah, the West is over now, the morning sun is shining like a red rubber ball. Oh, I think it's gonna be alright. Yeah, the West is over now, the morning sun is shining like a red rubber ball. Oh, it's bouncing and it shines like a red rubber ball. Gonna come
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wyndham Cultural Centre. I'm Athol Guy, and I'm here to take you right back to the early days, right through until we had our 50th reunion in 2014. And would you believe next year the Seekers turn 60, which makes me about 100, no.
In 1958, I had what I thought was a bright idea, and at 18 formed a bebop group, the Ramblers. Keith had formed a rock and roll band with some schoolmates, the Trinamics, and Bruce was partying solo, but also singing and playing banjo with a jazz group, Morris Plonk's Moonshine 5. Keith and I then joined up with Bob Turnbull and 17-year-old Ken Ray as a doo-wop vocal combo, the Escorts, who for a few years sang and swung just about anything around Ken's wonderful lead vocals.
Sung for you by our own Escorts.
The growing folk movement around the world, plus my close friendship now with Bruce, convinced Keith and Ken that with their own self-sustained instrumental and vocal talents, this was the musical future. And this is how it sounded.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine, shine mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day, every day, every day, every way. Gonna let my little light shine, 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 shine. Let my little light shine.
On this decision, and simply on the toss of a coin, the Seekers group was born. If it had come up tails, we would have been called the Searchers. Then Ken got married and we were a trio, having fun whilst cruising around the Pacific, singing and writing about our experiences. The three of us then had another bright idea, which was to change our musical lives forever, and the history of music in the 60s. More about this later.
The year was 1964, and as folk prophet Bob Dylan was to observe that year, the times they were a-changing. That year, American President Lyndon Johnson signed the most controversial civil rights legislation in the history of the nation. While in Britain, Harold Wilson was elected Prime Minister and the country was preparing for sweeping changes. In Australia, as Prime Minister Robert Menzies was about to reintroduce national service, 4 young entertainers were preparing for a working holiday aboard a cruise ship bound for the United Kingdom. Little did they know at that time that they too would change the world. Judith Durham, Athol Guy, Keith Potker and Bruce Woodley, who sang together as the Seekers, were hopeful of a little work in Britain before reboarding the fair sky and heading home again. But fate stepped in, and within 12 months, the Seekers had become the newest sensation on the British music scene, sharing the spotlight with the biggest names of the day, among them the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Success followed success for this trailblazing Australian group. They reached #1 in England with their very first record, I'll Never Find Another You, and also took it into the American top 5. The Seekers followed that first chart success with many more. A World of Our Own, The Carnival Is Over, and their finest moment, Georgie Girl. There were sell-out concert tours, gold record awards, television specials, an Academy Award nomination, and a record-making appearance before 200,000 fans. But the ultimate accolade came when the Seekers were named by their country Australians of the Year 1967. The Seekers marked 1968 with a big-budget television spectacular, a new album, and the credit for opening the door to international opportunity for the many Australian performers who followed in their footsteps. But out of the blue came the announcement that shocked the music world. At the height of their astonishing success, the Seekers had decided to split up. In the 25 years that followed that monumental decision, the four Seekers roamed the world and enjoyed great success in their respective solo careers. But not once in that time did the four ever perform together. As suddenly as their breakup was announced in 1968, came the announcement in 1993 that Judith Durham and the Seekers would mark their silver jubilee with a concert tour and a commemorative album. The concerts were expected to sell well, but no one had any idea of the stampede that was to greet the opening of ticket sales. And within a matter of weeks, the original itinerary had swelled tenfold, and the album, which was released to celebrate the reunion tour, had passed platinum.
And right now, of course, we're staring down the barrel next year of our 60th anniversary, our Diamond Jubilee anniversary. I don't think we'll be going out to do any concerts, but who knows? We did prepare a promotional clip a little while ago, fortuitously, in one of our TV specials, thinking that we might be around for just a little bit longer than the 20-odd years. I think you'll enjoy this. If we get to put the tickets on at the box office, we'll be using this as the promotional clip. Here we go. Here's up to the Seekers' 60th Diamond Jubilee celebration.
I hear the music of the world turning, can't you hear the sound of the world turning? If you stop and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. I hear the music of the world turning. There are some folks laughing, there are some folks crying. It's playing in the street, sound sweeter than a choir. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. I hear a symphony of traffic in the city. There are horns blowing, there are heels clicking. Hear those dash cans rattling as the sun begins to rise. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. We write special song for each and every day. It's got the break dancing and the love clapping now. Don't just ignore it, there's a concert all around you. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. You can have music wherever you go.
Well, I reckon if we do go out there, it'll be a great promotional clip to use for next year's 60th anniversary. I can't really believe it myself. We're going to close the show today with some of our great songs that we did in concert. There are 2 videos out at the moment, and one is the Seekers celebrate their 50th farewell, which was done at Hamer Hall in Melbourne, and there's another one called The Seekers Live in the UK, which was done at the Royal Albert Hall. Magnificent place. We did a sell-out tour of the UK and Scotland, Ireland, everywhere, and of course back here in New Zealand. We've been a very privileged group, and we've got so many people to thank for keeping our music in their hearts and homes. So here's a couple to finish off with to close the show. Sing along, enjoy yourselves, and thanks for being with us today.
And from all the lands on earth we come, we'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. We are one, but we are many. And from all the lands on earth we come, we'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. I am, you are, we are Australia. Keep a dream,
In your pocket,
keep a dream,
in your heart,
keep your dream
forever.
Don't let it
Don't let it fade away. In your pocket,
keep a dream,
in your heart,
keep your dream forever. Don't let
it fade away. So follow your dream to the end of the road, taking care not to let it fade away.
fade away.
Yes, if you follow your dream and you follow it well, it will lead you to the promise of a bright shiny day. Follow your dream to the end of the road, taking care not to let it fade. Don't let it fade away. Follow your dream and you follow it well, it will lead you to the promise of a bright shiny day. Don't be so scared of changing and rearranging yourself. It's time for jumping out of the shell. Hey there, Georgie girl, there's another Georgie deep inside. Bring out all the love you hide.